We have Loma Lookboonmee versus Bruna Brasil. Loma, she's 8-3. She's 4-1 in her last five, coming off of that d victory over Elise Reed, where she finished her. Bruna Brasil, she's 9-3-1. She is 4-1 in her last five, coming off that decision victory over Shauna Bannon. Right now, the odds for this fight, we have Loma at minus 272. So she's getting bet really heavily favored right now. She opened up at minus 193 actually. So Loma, I mean, she's a Muay Thai striker, practitioner in a way, throws with high volume, can work in some trips and throws in her game plan. I mean, I feel like she's really improved her grappling in the last few fights. She sports a solid striking ratio. She hits her opponents more and she does not get hit often. I think that her grappling is good while she is offensive. However, when she is on the defensive kind of bottom position, she can be held down to her size in the division. I mean, I feel like she's one of the smaller strawweights that we have in the division. She's like 5'1", 70, I mean 61.5 inch reach, so pretty small dimensions there. I think that against similar fighters in her stature, she's been able to win using the grappling and the striking exchanges. The only fight that she's lost in her last five was actually to a superior grappler in Lupi Godinez. So Loma is actually pretty well rounded. Bruna, solid kickboxer, likes to work from the outside and is comfortable fighting in the Muay Thai clinch as well. She's able to attack on all three levels, the head, body, and legs. I think that Bruna has decent knees in the clinch, can trip opponents also from there. When Bruna is not moving forward and pressuring, she does have a tendency to fight off her back foot, and this tends to bring out a lackluster striking defense for her. She gets hit more than she lands across her three UFC fights. I believe that Loma will utilize the same game plan that Denise Gomes used to beat Bruna in their first fight. Loma will attempt to pressure Brazil and make her fight off her back foot for the majority of the fight. Bruna does have a size advantage here. I'm not gonna lie. I think that she's like 5'6", and she has a 4-inch reach advantage, so she's gonna be the bigger girl here. So that is the one worry that I have, is that she will just kind of try to use her size and impose that size in a way and kind of try to negate that grappling advantage that Loma should have in this fight. The pick here is going to be Loma by decision, but I actually see some value in the over 2.5. When I looked at it, it was minus 185. Now it's minus 210. Uh, it opened up actually at, I believe, minus 275. So people have taken the under, but I'm gonna zig when everybody zags, and I'm going over 2.5 for a women's MMA fight here. Alex, what do you think about this fight between Loma and Bruna?
Um, yeah, pick for me is Loma. Even though Bruna has a big reach advantage, she really isn't that great at maintaining distance. In the Denise Gomes fight, Bruna kept getting tagged, which led to her eventually getting knocked out. I think Loma is going to tag Bruna many times in this fight. Loma's very skilled on the feet. The blueprint on beating Loma is to take her down, but I don't see that happening here just because Bruna primarily operates in the stand-up game. Bruna did look very good in her last fight against Shauna Bannon, but I think that's just because Shauna sucks, to be honest. Um, Loma has a ton of UFC experience, has fought similar rangy fighters before. So I trust that she'll be able to find her range. Um, that's really the key here. Loma has to close the distance and not let Bruna touch her up from distance. So yeah, pick for me is Loma here.
Definitely. Are you confident enough in her to potentially put him as a parlay piece?
Uh, I don't know quite yet. Um, it's interesting because I'm definitely not that confident in the over, James. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I just because Bruna got knocked out in the Gomes
Yeah,
fight. So,
true, true.
uh, but yeah, we'll see. But my pick is Loma.
Yeah, I mean Bruno's been knocked out 3 times actually, so that is the I see where the people are coming from in terms of this might be an underplay, but I think I gotta just do the system WMA, man. I think we already saw a finish like a couple of women's finishes last week, right? So let's average it out, guys. Let's
But
let's average it out.
I will say this: you're very good at the round props, James. So I
Thank you.
think
I
you're on to
appreciate
something.
that.